Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric, and welcome back to proving Maya Fey did not commit murder. Again. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Right. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
Objection!
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix, right? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Karain channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Karain channeling technique? Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about. I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Victim used the last of his strength to fight back. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. Blood loss, he was probably badly hurt. How badly? He felt lightheaded and dizzy after giving blood, and so he guesses about 10 times that level of dizzy. So anecdotal of you, Gumshoe. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. What? Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something like this? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Defendant picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me. I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. There's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. A contradiction. He missed because they were too close? That... I don't know if there's a direct contradiction here. Defendant picked up the victim's gun. Yeah, bears both their fingerprints. Victim took a shot, but because they were too close, they missed. Okay. During the channeling, defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. During the channeling, I don't have anything to prove why that doesn't make sense. Victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Victim took a shot. Because they were too close, he missed. I don't see a contradiction here. I really don't. I mean... because they were too close? If they were close, there would be gunpowder burn on the sleeve? Is that what we're going with? This doesn't feel right, and they've already lost a bunch because of, not having enough evidence in the first portion of the case. Or trial. Time for a good old save and load. Objection! There should be gunpowder burn on this. That was the logic? Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Son of a... Of course it's something we learned in the last portion of this. Of course it's something we learned from the last piece of testimony. Gunpowder burn. This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh, but there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well then. That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? After she stabs him, she pushes him away, he takes his shot. How did she get the gun back off of him if they were that far apart? There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Yo! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. My best guess is that it wouldn't make sense for that bullet hole to be where it is if this scenario played out. If she pushed him back and then he shot while she was going in for another strike, the angle between him, her arm, and the screen wouldn't make as much sense, but I don't know. Stabbed in the chest, then shot at point blank, still fits with stab, push, shot from him, steal the gun, shoot him. Bears both their fingerprints, checks out. I don't know. Okay, sure, why not? This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah! Looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. These two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height approximately 8 inches off the ground. Which means... yeah, they would have had to have been pretty low to the ground, and you can't exactly push someone away if you're sitting down. When the shot was fired, the defendant was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order! This changes everything. Please take a look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Strange. Can't have been sitting directly across from him because that wouldn't have made sense for line of sight on the shot either. She'd have to have been about here. Somewhere around here. Oh boy. Sure, I'll think it through better. She could have been over here setting up the candles, because it's on a little low platform. And it would make sense with the distance. God damn it. She's meant to be sitting directly across from him, but that line of fire doesn't make sense. Ah, well.
Take that!
What? Okay, she was standing, or rather squatting, right in front of the folding screen. But why? Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Ms. Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. Not if she was by the thing where the candle sits, or if she was... Sure. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you... I believe that it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the bag. Oh god. Blast radius of disaster. Instead of in the bag, in the blast radius of disaster. Sure. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How's this all my fault? You can start by repairing your standing first, by removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Cool, just gotta do the rest of the trial without taking a single strike. I mean, I was kinda lucky on the whole directly in front of the folding screen thing. June 21st, 11:37. That was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. Yeah, no shit, I got penalized like 9 times. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. What? Tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Oh, Guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sister's ghosts will come after you and haunt you. Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah. Do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. June 21st, 11:43, same courtroom. Court will now reconvene. Now the first order of... Ow! I don't want to hear it, old man. After I recall my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this, I didn't exactly have a choice, you know? Yowza! Name and occupation. I declare, what in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self. That's fine. That's fine? That ain't fine, that's a whip! Yeah! There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't gotten to say my name and job yet. My name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. No, let's all be one big happy family, okay? Sure, Judge, we're one big happy courtroom family. One of us just happens to whip the rest. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, then bang, we hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon course. Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for, you reckon? Course I did. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. Moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Maya was kneeling by the folding screen, got shot at, took the victim's gun, and stood on the opposite side of him before shooting him in the forehead. Why is she standing over here if the shot was... It would suddenly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room. Lotta's photo added to the court record. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Only the doc and the defendant went in. We're waiting outside and then we hear a gunshot. Was it really a gunshot? Why was that your question, Phoenix? My question is, why did she only say there was a single gunshot? We heard two. Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. Okay. We broke the door down, rushed into the room. Inside was the defendant, the dead victim, and the defendant waving the pistol around. You sure it was the defendant? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awful confident in her testimony. Lotta, please think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lotta, at a time like this, times like this are perfect for snapping shots, but anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? Well, you see... Order, Miss Hart. You are here to present accurate testimony. Yeah, sorry. Good. It shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered? One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Your accent's getting mighty inconsistent, unlike mine. That is because my objection sounds like a very normal feminine voice, while my backstory is that I was born and raised in Germany, so the guy playing the game is having a hard time finding a weird middle ground. Yeah, it was Maya that went in. Looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is certainly Maya Fey. Exactly. I'm trapped like one. Again. Other than those two, no one else in the room. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am, but that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fey? There was no one else in there and you know it. Channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Is there really no one else in there? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Rec given. What in the... Rec given. You know, you reckon? That's a given. I took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart, I will do it in the next episode. Bye.